G'day everyone, Coach Neil here from the Black Dog Brotherhood Movement, and today I'd like to introduce my very special guest, Mr. Ben Redmond. Ben, thanks for taking the time to be here today, brother.
Cheers, mate. Happy to be here.
Mate, it's been amazing to watch you over the past couple of months, or over the past month, because you and I actually go back a fair way. So I know the place you were in not just right before starting this program, but going back a couple of years now. So to see the changes that you've been able to make in such a short time, it's been a fucking amazing experience for me, and I'm sure it's been amazing for you as well. Mate, can you tell the viewers out there a little bit about your journey, or your battle with the Black Dog and the path that it led to prior to this program?
Yep, right. So military, 15 years, a sergeant. I've done 5 deployments, and through those deployments, I've been diagnosed with PTSD. So that was diagnosed about 6 months ago, thereabouts. And I've got other associated things, so depression, anxiety, and quite a lot of anger issues as well. So a lot of that, especially in a high tempo environment, just got me down quite a fair bit. Wife and kids who have got other issues as well, so always snapping at them, getting quite angry, very withdrawn, and that's been like that for a number of years, and it came to a head mid last year. At work, performing pretty badly, quite stressed out, snapping at everybody, and wasn't essentially doing my job too well. That necessitated all this other stuff, and so led me to self-reflect and then seek treatment and try to get better.
Too easy. And what about the effect that had on your body and your health? Like, where were you sort of at prior to this program with your physique, your health overall?
Yep. So I haven't been happy with my physique for years, and that's probably also down to the depression, the PTSD, and whatnot. So towards right the end of or mid last year, I was probably about 105 kilos thereabouts. Could barely fit into my uniform, so I just had one uniform that I'd wash like daily because that was the only one that sort of fit.
Yeah.
So the buttons were an instant, pretty much. So yeah, that's. A lot of those.
That means the buttons were doing these ones, getting ready to go.
Yeah, pretty much. So, so looking at yourself, not happy of yourself in the mirror, like how your uniform is fitting and whatnot. It just looked very slovenly. So that made me depressed. I wasn't exercising a lot because I was quite busy at work and was making excuses, and a lot of it, the depression and whatnot, is quite easy to make an excuse to not do any form of exercise. It led me to balloon out,
100%. But man, so that was where you were, just over a month ago. So you've been with the program for coming up, or just on a month now. Yep. Tell us a bit about your last month with the program and what you would say your biggest wins are across the board, not just with your physique, but with your headspace. What results have you had in just 1 month of being with the Black Dog Brotherhood?
Yeah, cool. So in the last month, I've lost probably close to, say, 3.5, nearly 4 kilos, I'd say. So about that 800 grams a week, which is quite a good showing, I think. Yep. I've lost 6 centimetres off my waist and my chest. As well. So that's quite a drastic amount in this short amount of time.
So you've only lost 800 grams a week. You've lost like 6 centimeters off of your waist. So for those who are watching, what that means is, like, we focus more on measurements than we do with weight because we do a lot of strength training, and we'll talk about this in a sec because I know you've got some big wins here. Strength training builds muscle. Muscle obviously has mass. So when you do strength training, you might not lose as much weight as you like, but you lose a lot of fat, and that was reflected in your measurements. So 6 centimeters a week over 4 weeks, you've lost over 1 centimeter a week off your stomach. So if we were to look at a long-term projection for training for a year, there's a lot of weeks in a year.
Exactly. Yeah. So I haven't noticed anything in my body yet. So I haven't noticed the changes, but like my wife has, you have, and work colleagues have noticed that I'm thinner in the face, a little bit skinnier around the trunk. So that's good. I can't complain about that so far. So my headspace, so at the start of the year, wasn't the best, and especially last year, but doing this and doing the training regime and the programs, and they're very simple, it's helping me. So one of the big concerns I had or fears, I suppose, was going into a gym and not knowing what I'm doing, or being overawed by all the roid munchers that you kind of see. So I'm still fearful of going into like the gym with all of the gym junkies and the meatheads and whatnot, but I'm slowly getting used to exercising and getting that confidence because my technique's relatively good, and I'm slowly putting on more weight or like lifting more weight, etc. So getting that confidence, and that's kind of feeding the headspace and making me a little bit more confident in my body.
In line with that, so we have for those who are watching, what we have is we actually have a strength progression system that goes from an absolute novice right through to an expert, so that guys can continue training for life. Even if they finish with the Black Dog Brotherhood in a year, 2 years' time, this training system is designed to continue forever and ever and ever. So there's a progressive overload of strength. And Ben was actually the first one in the space of a month. He was able to move out of the beginner one and into the next levels inside of a month. So the strength gains he's actually made have been nothing short of fucking phenomenal. Tell us a little bit about the strength gains that you've made, and the fact that you're the first guy to be promoted within the group to the next level.
Yeah, right. So obviously I started bench doing 60 kilos. I'm now up to 68. It doesn't seem a lot, but I think for me, with my little muppet arms and narrow shoulders, it's quite a significant gain as well.
The squats, dude. That's the one we want to hear. The squats.
Well, obviously 60 kilos I find very easy to do now. So I'm definitely reaching that progressive overload now. With my squats, I think I started at about 50 kilos and I'm now up to 80 odd and going heavier as well. So I've got a lot of improvement for that. Deadlifts, I think I started at about 60 kilos or 60 or 80 and I just deadlifted 100 last week.
That's more than your own body weight. In the space of a month, you're deadlifting more than your own body weight.
Yeah, and then stupidly on Monday I did 115 kilos because I can't count. So, and I know I can go heavier with the deadlifts as well. So those things, I think there's at least like a 20%, 30% improvement on some of them, and there's obviously improvements on all of them. Still got to work on the chin-ups, but
everybody struggles with the chin-ups, man. That's why I put them in there. We love a challenge.
I think everyone does. So so the weights and with all of the ancillary exercises too, I've also bumped up a fair bit with those. So I'd say probably about a 15 to 20% increase on all of those.
Yeah.
I'm improving in weights in all aspects.
So 28 days, we've lost just under a kilo a week in the space of a month. So you're coming up to the month, we've lost just under a kilo a week. We've dropped over a centimetre a week off the stomach. Strength has gone through the roof. You're deadlifting more than your own body weight. You're coming close to squatting your own body weight. Your headspace has improved. You find that you're not as snappy with the kids because for those who don't know, Ben's also got 3 kids.
Yep.
3 kids at home, including special needs children as well. So again, full-time soldier, and dad of 3, including kids with special needs. How do you find that you've been able to gel the nutrition, the training, the procedures in place that we've got for managing depression in conjunction with being a full-time dad and a full-time soldier?
Yep. Okay. So the nutrition, it's taking a little while. So the fasting, I'm slowly cutting out sugar out of my teas and coffee.
Yep.
So I'm down to like 1 sugar in there, and that's fine. I've still got milk, so I will have to get rid of that eventually. But
we're getting there, one step at a time.
Yeah, baby steps at the moment. So obviously I'll break my fast doing that, but I think it's only small amounts, which hopefully is not going to affect too much. Eating, I eat the 2 meals a day. I could probably eat more, or probably should be eating more, but it's still relatively healthy. So by being kind of healthy and eating that, I'm almost forcing the wife and the kids to eat a little bit more healthy as well.
Awesome. So healthy family by proxy.
Yeah, so that's going to do stuff as well.
Tell the viewers about the actual portion size of the meals, because we've spoken about this with some of the other guys about some people, like, they do a diet and they struggle to stay on it because they're always fucking hungry because their calories are so low and they're eating fucking rabbit food. Tell people about the portion sizes and about the amount of food you've actually got to get down your gullet on this program.
Yeah, so as you said, it's almost counterintuitive, or going, well, okay, I want to lose weight, but
I should be hungry.
I've got to eat more food. Yeah, exactly. So like I'll have a bowl of salad or something like that, and then I'll look at like your videos and stuff, and it's like, oh, hang on, I should be having 3 kilos of chicken as well with this. So I'm like, I can't fit it in my mouth, sort of thing. So it's that kind of getting used to doing that and eating the bigger meals than what I usually eat, which is taking a little while. I'm not there yet. But like I'm not overly hungry as well, so I'm not snacking or doing any of that. It's just like if I do feel hungry, I'm just sculling a bottle of water and whatnot.
Perfect.
So yeah, kind of fill up the tummy with water.
You still haven't hit your portion size yet either. So you've actually still got your meals actually still need to be a touch bigger, don't they? You still can't quite eat the amount that you're supposed to be eating as well.
Yeah. So they probably need to be almost like a quarter or a third bigger, I dare say. So so I'm probably almost starving myself, but like I'm not. Yeah, I'm not kind of
headspace thing getting around the fact that you've got to eat more.
Exactly, yeah. So it's not a massive struggle for me because I don't really eat a lot anyways.
We're going to change that.
No, so I've got to start eating more. So, no, look, that's good. I think with all of this, the headspace is getting a bit better. I'm not as snappy with the kids or the wife. But, yeah, that's the most difficult part for me at the moment is that.
Happy wife, happy life, brother.
Pretty much, yeah. So, yeah.
100%. Now, tell the guys out there a little bit about the Black Dog Brotherhood community. So the level of support that you've had from me as your coach and from more importantly, the guys in the group.
Yep. Okay. So it's like my phone's it's always buzzing essentially because there's a whole heap of people in the group that are motivating each other. And I think there's probably a few more blokes in here that are worse off than I am. And it's awesome to see complete strangers getting around each other and boosting morale and trying to pick them up when they're feeling down. Even if you got, after your sit reps and whatnot, there's always guys just liking the photos or liking the sit reps and then just saying like your good work and providing that encouragement. So I think for when you're naturally or when you're feeling down and a bit depressed or whatever, having something like that, even when you feel as though you're worthless and having essentially strangers, for want of a better word, coming on and saying, hey, look, that's awesome, keep it up, chin up, all the rest of it, it makes you feel a little bit better because guys that are in the brotherhood are all in the same boat essentially, and we're all going to. Our point B is essentially the same. It is to get over the black dog, and it is to improve our health, our well-being, our fitness, look a little bit better in the mirror. So all of that. So we've all essentially got a common goal, and everybody is willing to work towards it and support each other. So can't ask for anything better.
Awesome, brother. And you raised an interesting point in there. You talked about the sit rep. So for the viewers at home, what we do inside of the Brotherhood is you need accountability in order to have success in any program. You can download any I've said it a million times. You can download any program for free off the internet. You can download any diet for free off the internet. What you lack is accountability to stick to either of them. Without accountability, you've got no adherence. Without adherence, you don't have results. So what the guys in the Brotherhood do is every single Sunday, and I do it on Sunday to keep them honest over the weekend so they don't go fucking rogue on the weekend. Every Sunday morning, the guys are required to post a weekly sit rep, or that's Army Talk for Situation Report. And what they do is they have to post their weight, their measurements, their key lifts for the week, so what they actually lifted, their biggest win and their biggest loss. And that goes into the group every single week, whether you've had a shit week or whether you've had a good week. Because then what it does is, it keeps the individual accountable to actually, they know they're going to be sharing this shit with the rest of the guys in the group. So they know if they have a bad week, it's going into the group whether they like it or not. They also know that if they have a good week, that it's going to help the guys who haven't had a great week. It lifts up the other guys because they see this whole community of guys who are still pushing forward. And there's dudes who aren't feeling up to it that week, or if they've had a shit week, they see everybody else still sort of moving towards that common goal. So that's one of the tools that we use to keep guys accountable. Do you think that having that weekly sit rep and having to check in every week with your details, do you think that's played a massive part in sticking with the program and staying the course?
Yep, 100%. So I've tried diets and exercise regimes in the past, and sticking with it for 2-3 weeks or a month, I can do easily, I suppose. But yeah, the big thing that I've found with this program and everything else is that accountability. So it's not only to yourself, but it's to everybody else, and also to you being the trainer. So if I've had a bad week, I'm not just letting myself down, I'm letting everybody else down as well. If I'm deciding to cheat myself and say only do 3 sets as opposed to 5 because I'm sore, and then that'll reflect for the rest of the training. So then I'll feel let down and I'll feel as though I'm letting everybody else down. So I think that accountability is what has been lacking with all the other programs and whatnot that I've done. Even if I have lost some weight and whatnot, the accountability is helping. It makes you feel as though you need to work and you need to push yourself because you don't want to let people down.
100%. So, awesome, brother. Awesome. Now, if you had a chance to go back in time and talk to Ben Redmond a year ago, and Ben Redmond today is talking to Ben Redmond a year ago about the Black Dog Brotherhood, or Ben Redmond's talking to somebody who's sitting on the fence about getting amongst his program, or another guy who's got his own personal demons and battle with the Black Dog, what would Ben Redmond's advice to Ben Redmond be?
Right. Well, first, before I spoke to myself, I'd speak to you and say, why didn't you do this like 5 years ago?
I ask myself that every day.
But yeah, but better late than never. So I think for me especially, I should have came forward and said I had these issues years and years ago. Being military and being a man, I suppose you hold everything in and you don't want people to know that you've got weaknesses. And for a long time, I saw having PTSD and depression that as a weakness, didn't want to let people know. So being able to come out and say, I have PTSD, I've got depression, anxiety, stress, all the rest of it.
Like a weight off your shoulders.
It's a weight's been lifted, yeah. And it makes you feel a little bit more free. Yeah, you're not stuck. There's no anchor anymore, or there's less anchors, I suppose. So I think the one thing that I would say to me a year ago was, like, get out of your comfort zone and actually do something about it, and stop being a macho man, essentially, and start actually being an actual man and standing up for your own demons and being accountable for it and getting something done. So, yeah, I can't do it myself. 100%. Other people have got to help me as well. So
100%.
And that's what's happening, yeah.
You hit the nail on the head there, man. And I know for me, when I first sort of went public with the shit that I was going through with my own headspace and that, I was terrified, man. Like, I used to jump out of planes for a living, and this was probably when I put it out there publicly that this is what I'm dealing with and this is where I'm at. It was more scary than the first time I jumped out of the plane. But then once it was over and people were like, shit, man, I didn't know. Holy crap. And then, like, the level of support that came out and actually going and getting help and getting my own fucking shit sorted out. Yeah. And for me, being able to help other guys. So part of what I do with the Black Dog Brotherhood, it helps me being able to help other guys because I know what it's like to walk in those shoes, and you know what it's like to walk in those shoes. So being in the community and knowing that everybody else has walked that path, it's cathartic.
Yeah, it's
cathartic.
Yeah, I know the word you're trying to get to.
It's good for you.
Yeah, so
good.
Yep.
Awesome, brother. Man, thank you so much for your time today, dude. You're 1 month in and you're absolutely crushing it. So I can't wait to see where you're at. You've got another 12 months with us, brother. So I can't wait to see where you're at in 12 months. I'm probably not as excited as your missus. Your missus is probably even more excited to see where you're at in 12 months.
Hopefully, I'm excited to see where I am in 12 months. So, it's good. I think since December, because I was about 101 kilos. So I've dropped 6-7 kilos since then. And whatnot. But yeah, with all of this, it's weight's going down. Everything else is going down. So
awesome, brother. Awesome. So for the viewers out there, anybody who's sitting on the fence, anybody who's battling their own demons, anybody who's fighting the Black Dog, first thing you need to know is you're not alone. There's a community of us, and we're all here. Where the doors are always open. Your first month of coaching with the Black Dog Brotherhood is completely free. And we do that for everybody because we like, I like to be able to help guys. I want to be able to help guys. So your first month is completely free. So you've got nothing to lose, and you can see if it's for you. And if it's not, you've lost nothing except body weight. and you've gained, a bit of understanding and hopefully a few tools that you can then take for the rest of your life. So click the link below if you want to book in a coaching call. We can have a chat and see what we can do for you. Mr. Ben Redman, absolute pleasure, my friend, and thank you so much for your time and honesty.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it, and thank you for all of your help in the last.
Oh, mate, it's been a privilege, man. It really is a privilege to see all you guys growing and changing. So I thank you guys.
Cheers, mate. Feelings mutual.
Take care of yourself.
No worries, bro. See ya.
See ya.